Hi, beautiful Libra. Welcome to a new era. My name is Emma. Libra, this is your mid-month reading and it's for April, mid-April, but think of it as a month into the future. So around mid-April until mid-May is what we're what we're looking at. And we're starting with three initial cards, three initial energies, and we're just going to go deeper and deeper into the energy and see what we find for you for this mid-month reading. And then if you resonate with it, there's going to be an extension that you're so welcome to. First card out, second card out. Let's see. First card is Simply Love. Number 6, which is Love and Harmony. And then the World card, number 21. With Embrace. And then the third card out is for Libra, please. Mid-month. Third card is excuse me, Opportunity Beckons. That is really beautiful. Simply Love with the World card, Embrace. Leaving a cycle behind, wrapping something up and coming into something new. And then Opportunity Beckons. And now we have exhausted ourselves. We need a little bit of coffee. Okay. We want to clarify the Simply Love card. Why is that here for Libra, please? Drop the whole deck. Why is this here for Libra, please? Simply Love. Clarify this. Between worlds. Wow, interesting. So Simply Love, and we're in between worlds. And now, excuse me. Now, as I'm looking at this card, this little boy here, he seems a little bit, not necessarily confused, but not, he just doesn't have all the answers yet. So if that is like the between worlds, he doesn't have all the answers yet. He's like learning and he's growing by the minute, literally, he's growing. We're going to come back to that because that is not clear. And then we're going to clarify the Embrace or the World card. We just have like a full picture on the table. Why is the World card here for Libra, please? Libra. Someone feels like they're not fully taught yet, or like they're not fully, they don't have enough information yet, or they don't have like enough meat on their legs, as I would say in Swedish. Kött på benen. They need more time, or they need more investment. We're going to come around to that. The World card, why is that here for Libra? Exchanging gifts. Lucky number 27. Lucky number 27. Lucky number 21. With the 27 there. So with this, I just immediately feel with this World card, as you're ending a cycle and coming into something new, and because we have this like, I'm not fully taught yet, or I'm not fully, like I don't have enough information to make a decision, or to, like, you just want a little bit more time or more information. And so with this World card, with the exchanging gifts, which is with a cat, is a ballerina and a cat. I just feel like there's something about, like, we're teaching each other. You're ending a cycle there, and you learn. Excuse me. You've learned so much about, like, this cycle that is now wrapping up. There's a big cycle in your life, and that cycle is now wrapping up. It's like you're coming to an end of that, and you're coming to an end of the lesson. Does that make sense? It's not just it's like you would say, okay, so this year is coming to an end. And so every year comes to an end. And, one person could have learned a lot over that course of that year. And another person basically, I don't know if you can go through a year around this time in this energy and not learn anything. I think it's probably almost impossible. But I guess someone could choose that path. I just don't know that I'm not one of these people. So it's not just about coming to the end of that year. This is like you're coming to this end of this cycle, and there's literally no more juice to squeeze out of it. Like you don't have to go back around and have another go at this same cycle, because sometimes we do that and we even question ourselves, like, what the hell? Why am I putting myself in the same situation again? Like, new faces, different places, but it's the same setup. It's the same person. Energy-wise, it's just the same why do I do this again? Because it's still a lesson there. It's still material for growth. Now it's not. Now it's like we're wrapping up this cycle, this life cycle of yours, and I feel like it's not just one category. It's several, if not like your entire life, but it's like several categories, or it's like one big thing that is happening that is sort of coloring the rest, is having an effect of the rest of your people around you, the rest of your categories around you. Like if you're dealing with a health issue, that's going to affect your job, it's going to affect your relationship perhaps, that's going to affect your money situation, because perhaps you can't work. I'm just taking that as an analogy. Like, okay, so one thing that you're dealing with is like bleeding into these different categories. So you're dealing with a lot of stuff and it's coming to an end. This cycle or this thing, either if it's several categories that you worked on, or is this major one that sort of bled into the other ones, it's coming to a halt. There's enough information and growth from the situation to keep you expanding for the next few decades. Does that make sense? Like you haven't integrated it all. I just realized something. And that's for my own, for my own personal gain. I realized something through your reading, and so I thank you for it. And I want to share that with you, because otherwise I would have had that sort of little mini epiphany on my own, where if I weren't supposed to share that with you. And so I'm just going to trust to share this with you. So this is quite personal. So I was in this relationship some years ago. I was in this relationship. It was a very, short-lived relationship, very intensive, very abusive. And afterwards, I had this feeling that it took me like 3 to 4 years. It took me 3 to 4 years to heal from it. I know that I sort of labeled it that. I know that I put like this, wow, this is how long it actually took me to get back to some sort of normalcy. And I viewed it that way. I viewed it like this is how long it took me to heal and to get back to some sort of normalcy. Through your energies here today, Libra, this is really helpful for me personally. So again, I thank you for it. Just as I said, this cycle that you have ended, this cycle, you're now like wrapping up this cycle. And what you have lived, Libra, and then it doesn't feel short and it probably was very intense, but it doesn't feel short-lived. I don't get short-lived around this. I get like this is like a life cycle. This could be like something that has been going on for like 5, 10, 15, 20 years. It's a long time, and you're wrapping it up. And the things that you got out, the lessons or the possibility for expansion that you got out of the situation, you now have, like, that's what I said, you have decades to now integrate that, to now use that for expansion. So even though you're like, the cycle has come to an end, and if this is a situation where you removed yourself physically, or if it's like just a situation where you removed yourself mentally, it doesn't really matter. The thing is that we've come to an end of the very thing, but now you still have decades into your future that you're going to integrate whatever you've learned over this time. And instead of, it just switched something inside of me, because instead of seeing this as, it took me freaking 3 to 4 years to get over this, to stop being broken, to heal, to then instead see it as, wow, from that short-lived time, I got enough out of that little time. I got enough out of that little time that it lasted for 3 to 4 years with juicy, expansive information that I got to integrate into my body. And after 3 to 4 years, I sort of had gained everything that was to gain from that very situation. I don't know if it sounds to you like I just said the same thing twice. To me, it's like a whole other way of looking at things. First and foremost, you're not a victim. You're not a victim. If it just sort of gave you the tools to just upgrade yourself over a period of 3 to 4 years, that's how much juice I got out of that situation, even though it was like such a short time period in my life before I just got out of there. And do you hear me? Do you hear what I'm saying? I'm getting something here. Okay. Simply love. There's this boy, and we have information. You have information, but you feel like you don't. You have like everything is passed on to you, and you have everything you need, and yet you're feeling like you just need more, or you just need more time. You need more investment. Like I said, you need more meat on your bones in order to feel like this is a done deal. And I would probably have said the same thing, like, this is over. This is, and I don't want to compare it to that you were in some sort of really bad or abusive or like toxic situation. It doesn't have to be that heavy. It can be just life, like a life where we have our struggles and we have our conflicts and all of that. And you just feel like this has now come to an end. Like, well, I'm not supposed to be here anymore. This is ending now. I'm wrapping this whole life cycle up. It can even be actually a person. It doesn't have to be you, Libra. It can actually be a person around you. Like, you passed on as much information as one possibly could. You spent so much of your investment in terms of time or love, even money, energy into this person that perhaps is like a young, it can be a family member, it can be a child of yours. It can also be like a friend, it can be someone that is like, it's a teacher-student situation where you have passed on as much as you possibly can. And so this person feels like, okay, they have all the information, like they can't put any more information here into this, like into this arena of container. Like it's enough with the information that you already had. Now you have to go and integrate it. It puts me in other situations as well, like this whole reading, because it's like sometimes I've seen like you gotten some information some years back, you gotten some information, and then years and years later you go, oh, is that what that person meant 10 years ago? And in my world, I've just viewed it as, it took me 10 years. It took me 10 years to, if it was 5 years, 15 years, like it took me 10 years to realize what they actually meant. But if it's, instead of saying it took me 10 years of realizing what just happened, it had so much life and so much lesson in it that it could span over like a 10-year period of goodies. And then when the 10 years is up, like that, and that's like when the final, like there's nothing more to get out of the situation now. Whatever you were in, there's no more lesson, there's no more expansion, there's no more growth here. Are you following me so far? So there's either this is you, Libra, and you've gotten information, or you got an information. I mean, in my case, I would say if this is me, I've gotten enough from a toxic relationship that like that is enough. I am done here. That is enough. But then I feel like I need to integrate this somehow. I need to, what I've asked for now is coming into some sort of expansion, growth, understanding, opening up to new perspectives, and feeling like we're in between two worlds, because we aren't fully out of the old one, but you're not in the new one either. You left the situation, you left your life situation, as it were, and then you're moving into the new one, but like you're not quite out of the old one, but you're not quite into the new one either. You're wrapping something up. Like this is an entire cycle that we're wrapping up. And you're just putting that behind you. This whole life cycle is coming to an end and you're putting it behind you. But what has happened is that there's a new heart that is born. A new heart has taken shape over this is what I mean, like, it's not like something just breaks you down and then you were broken and it took this long to just piece it back together. This is what I'm trying to say. Yes, it can feel like you're broken, but what you ask for in that brokenness, or what you ask for in that lack, whatever that situation is for you in your life situation, whatever that is for you, when you feel like you're not enough for someone else, or when you feel like someone else is not enough for you, when you feel like you're not being understood by someone else, or when you feel like, oh, I just don't understand them, or I don't understand the situation, for every single time of those times, you're asking for improvement. And so in my brokenness, I was asking for wholeness, right? In my feeling like I don't know who I am anymore, asking for the biggest I am question of all time. And that like that version of oneself immediately gets to work and gets like created. That version and that energy body just exists somewhere. And now, depending on how long it takes for you to integrate with that new version, like it takes however long it takes, but it's not really about healing and becoming whole again after being broken. It's rather just being through something. We're asking for an upgrade, and this is how long it takes to integrate with it. And you've ended this cycle, and whatever you're ending, you're asked for like this new love or a new understanding, new heart. And this new heart has already taken root. Literally, it has taken root. It's a golden heart that sits in the center of Mother Earth. It's like we have this inner earth within Mother Earth. It's like it's a second world. It's a second earth. And we're living very much within it. And here we have exchanging gifts. I just feel like what you've learned through this lifetime and through wrapping up this cycle, this major cycle for you, and you feel where you're at on this path. You feel like, because you're somewhere in between, because we have the in-between worlds, and so you feel like whether you're more towards the beginning of that, like I have so much more integration to do. Like I said, it feels like you have decades now that you can use the situation to continue to grow and continue to expand because of the very thing that you're wrapping up. And at the same time, like you can share like you have so much life experience. You have so much life experience, Libra. You probably could write a whole book and start selling it tomorrow, because like you sit on so much information about what to do in certain situations, and it's just for you to share it. with others because of what you've come out of. Doesn't mean that you have to be ready to share it. Does that make sense? You don't have to. So instead of saying healed, I'm switching this. Like as I'm speaking, I'm switching this. Instead of continuing to say you need this time to heal, you need this time to integrate. You need this time to integrate your new version. And you don't have to be integrated. Does that make sense? You don't have to be completely done before you can teach others about this life experience that you've been in. It feels like you have so much information to share with others. And you don't have to wait until you're completely integrated to start sharing that with others. You can do that now. And I think sharing it now, even though you're not fully integrated yourself, helps you to integrate. Because you're revisiting the situation, but your focus now is not to get out of a situation or to end a situation. Your focus now is to just talk about something and how to help others receive something beautiful or achieve something beautiful out of a similar situation that you all have lived. Wow. And then we have opportunity beckons. So we're now coming into the opportunities of this, like what it has yielded. Yielded? Did you say that? What it has brought you. Sometimes I'm like so sure of the English word, and sometimes like so insecure. Opportunity beckons. Why is this here for Libra, please? Why is this here for Libra? A never-ending story, but it's a completion. Okay, so you just need to hear that there is a completion here. There's no more of the past. So either you're out of a situation physically, you're out of a situation mentally. So it sometimes can feel like, okay, so I'm out of the situation physically, so shouldn't it stop? But that's what I mean. Then how long does it take to integrate this very situation that happened? How much, it's almost like you read this book and you take all this information in, at least from like the school years, you take all this information in, and then you sort of had to go sleep on it, or like, it's just words, it just become words. You can't sort of really use it. You just have to sleep on it and give it some time. And here it's about this feeling of a never-ending story. Whatever you're doing, it's just never-ending. It's a freaking never-ending story. It just continues on and on and on. And I'm here to say, no, it's not. We have opportunity beckons. And so it just needs to know, or it needs to show you that whatever the situation was, it has come to an end. And for some of you, you might have been out of it physically for some time, and you might have even been out of it mentally for some time. But then, so like something happens, there's a trigger, there's a reminder, there's a phone call, there's a visit, there's something that makes you go down memory lane, and you're right back there. Like you just feel like, oh, it's just in you. And it's going to be in you until you integrate the new version that you gain because of being in the situation. And that's when you get into the opportunities. You're freaking glowing. Like you have this glow about you. You have this upgraded glow about you because of the situation that you've been in. I'm going to take this into the extension and see what else I can find here for you, Libra. You really are coming out of this and you're integrating this new version. And as you are, you can actually teach others. You can teach others about your story because it will be really helpful to other people. And for some, it doesn't necessarily have to be, excuse me, it doesn't have to be like the very, very exact same situation, just like I said here now, like mine was like a short, intensive, toxic relationship. And maybe you don't recognize this, the very, very exact same thing, but you recognize the foundation of the same energy, what it made you feel like and what it made you ask for. And you can be in a situation where it doesn't have to be exactly the same as as what someone else has been through, but you can use the same platform, it's the same energy, and you will be able to relate and feel empathy. And they will feel trust in you because they sense that you're getting it, because you've been through some stuff, let's just say the least, in your life. Does that make sense? So, okay, so we're going to take this into the extension and see what else we can find. The links to that are in the description box. So just go down in the description and read up on whether you want to go to Vimeo or the other site. You see there's 2 links. And I hope to see some of you there. If not, thank you so much for watching, Libra. And I just want to ask you to please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It really helps me and the channel out a lot. And even give it a little thumbs up if you liked the video. Thank you so much. Bye.